Okay, so good day everyone. In this video, we are going to learn how to query data using Pandas. So before everything else, let us have a quick review about how our data looks like. So in order for us to view our data, we can just type data.head. So I want to view only the first 3 rows. So basically, it will show us a view of the data. So we have here shown 3 rows with all of the 28 columns or attributes of each na movie. And just to remind you, we are working on a movie metadata set wherein we have 5,044 na movies, each having 28 na attributes. Okay, now I want to see all the column names. So it will return the movie title, the color, director name, etc. Now, our task is to query the data. Okay, so our first challenge is to find movies primarily starred by Orlando Bloom. In other words, what we want is to, out of the 5,044 movies that we have, which movies are starred by Orlando Bloom. So in other words, we are looking for actor one name where Orlando Bloom where it is Orlando Bloom. Okay, so now what we are going to do is to create our condition. Okay, so suppose we have a and our condition states that that data actor one name is equal to Orlando Bloom. Okay. Okay. Shift enter. Okay, let us try to print the cond, and it will return a boolean na data. Okay, wherein it will show us 5,044 rows of true or false. So what happens is that if that certain row has actor one name Orlando Bloom, then it will return true. Otherwise, false. Of course, we don't. We are more interested with the movie information. Okay, so we will pass this into data, the condition onto data. So what this means is we are going to slice the data based on the condition wherein the data actor name should be Orlando Bloom. Of course, what we can do is just copy this and paste this inside, but it will be a little bit unreadable. And what if we have more conditions, right? So we aim also not just a working code, but also a clean and manageable code. So shift enter, and it will show us all the movies that have been starred by Orlando Bloom. So as you can see here, Orlando Bloom has starred in The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, Elizabethtown, and Zulu. Okay, so what we can see here all of the information. No? So let us just verify if Orlando Bloom is indeed the actors of this. So from this data set, let's view only the actor one name. Okay, and indeed 339, 896, and 2591 movies are starred by Orlando Bloom. Okay, so let's just remove that one. Okay, now our next challenge, get the IMDb scores and content ratings of movies starred by Orlando Bloom. So basically, we are going to get the scores and content rating, or view only the IMDb scores and content rating of these movies, The Lord of the Rings, Elizabethtown, and Zulu, because we know that these movies have been primarily starred by Orlando Bloom. So what we can do is just copy this data cond, because our condition again is that it's starred by Orlando Bloom, and we want to get the IMDb scores. The IMDb scores. So we will, since we need 2 features, so IMDb scores, then comma, followed by the content rating. And let's just print the movie title so we can see what movies and there's corresponding scores and content rating. Okay. Oops, where did we go wrong? IMDb scores is not in index. So it should be IMDb score only. Okay, now it shows us the movie titles: Lord of the Rings, Elizabethtown, Zulu, and the IMDb score and the content rating. And we can see that the first 2 na movies are PG-13, while Zulu is an R na rating. Now, what we want is to sort films by the gross na earnings. Okay, so what we can do is we have, let's say, view first the whole data set. So we have data, and it will show us all of the data. So 5,044 from 28. So out of all these movies, which one has the highest na gross na earnings? Okay, so we will be sorting this data frame by the gross na value. So what we can do is we have, let's say, top 5 by gross, and we only want to get the top 5. Okay, and we have the data dot sort values. So we will be using the dot sort na values. Okay, and the first na parameter is by what attribute? So by gross, and we want it to be into a descending order. So we just set ascending as false. So by default, it is ascending. Okay, and if we input top 5 by gross, and it shows us 5,044 na columns, but it is now, let's just see the gross. And we can see that it is now sorted by the gross na value, starting from the highest na gross. So we only want to get the top 5. So we are going to slice this data, the top 5 by gross na data, and we only extract the first 5 na rows. And this gives us all this data. So we want to see all the information. Let's just remove the gross, and it will show us the data, the top 5 na movies by the gross na earnings. Okay, so we can see here that the top 5 na movies by gross na earnings is Avatar, followed by Titanic, and Jurassic World, the Avengers for the last 2 na positions. Okay, now for the next na challenge or task is to get the top 5 films of Kate Winslet in terms of the gross na earnings. Okay, so we will extract here from, we know that the top 5 by gross is initially, top 5 by gross is the sorted na data frame by the gross na earning. Okay, so from the type 5 by gross, from the sorted na data, we are going to query the actor one name, that is Kate Winslet. Okay, so it will show us again a Boolean na list. So let's just save that into our condition. Let's say con, and we will use that condition to slice top 5 by gross. Top 5 by, top 5 by gross and the condition. So now, and we'll only extract the first na 5. And this is the top 5 films of Kate Winslet in terms of the gross na earnings. We have The Divergent, The Insurgent, The Holiday, The Reader, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Okay,